How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Frederick Von Mierers with this dissertation on meditation. Meditation has been taught throughout thousands of years by all the great sages and men who have achieved the highest wisdom, which is knowledge of God. Meditation is a stairway by which we can ascend to self-realization, to the awareness that divinity of life, God, dwells within our souls. Meditation is a process by which we can calm our thoughts and achieve stillness within ourselves. And there, in the inner stillness of our souls, we can commune with the maker of the universe, in the source of our being. Thus, stillness is a prerequisite for meditation. There are various steps that lead to the state of communion, which is the goal of meditation. The Western Bible tells us to be still and know that I am God, as do the Hindu Vedas. Lord Jesus spoke to the tempests and said, "Peace be still." The stillness is the balanced state of creation, the goal of meditation. The Hindu rishis, the great masters of the world, were the first people to show that meditation was an exact and a divine science. They were able to devise various methods through the yoga systems. Yoga means union through thought. Through the yoga systems, which would enable man to achieve recognition of his oneness with God. God, your consciousness, is the creator of the universe. It is the intelligence itself that creates all forms, for intelligence and substance create form. When the intelligence of your soul leaves the substance of your body, the form of your body disintegrates back into the dirt. The elements in your body return to their source. The earth element goes back to the earth, the liquid elements go back to the water element of the planet Earth. The air element in your body goes back to the universal air element of the planet Earth. The fire element returns to the universal fire element that is in the planet Earth. The intelligence of a soul emerges into the fifth element, ether, which is unqualified and whose intelligence determines the form of your body. In just the same way, the presence of God's intelligence in the entire universe creates and unites all the endless forms and diversity that you see about you. If God were to withdraw his intelligence or his soul from matter, then all the different forms that you see about you would dissolve back into the unmanifested and unformed aspect of divine energy, which is the universal magnetic field. However, it is the presence of the intelligence plus substance which creates all these forms. Therefore, you must realize that the intelligence that created this whole universe, God, is the very same intelligence energy that lives within you as your own self and declares through your eyes and through your mind, I am. God is the I am presence, the I am of Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Moses, and Abraham. God is universal intelligence. God uses only the universal substance of creation, which is light, to express himself. But he does not need it to be himself, for the Lord is self-existent. According to the Hindus, the supreme authority on this planet, God is ever-existing, ever-knowing, and ever-new joy. There is no way to limit him or to qualify him, except by those three statements which correspond to the divine Trinity. Void, force, and matter, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost, which originated with the Hindus, not with Christianity. If I say I know God, and therefore think that I have the monopoly on eternity, then I am limiting God to the confines of my own mind. And that is not possible, because what is limited cannot include the infinite nature of God. Hence, my limited mind can only conjure an apparition of what God truly is, as is exemplified through the pages of the Old Testament. Therefore, when we try to limit God with our minds, through our thoughts, and resort to our preconceived ideas, we only conjure up an image of God that could be no greater than our own highest ideals. Oftentimes, our image of God is even less than that. The Lord himself cannot be limited by these notions, for you cannot divide the infinite, nor can you divide the absolute. So how can anyone, unless they see the whole impersonal, impartial, the immutable laws of nature, which is God's will in action, and use it as their criteria, see the whole impersonal reality of the universe? Therefore, we must learn to still our mind, to achieve inner stillness and peace, and understand the source of our being, which is beyond all thought. For you are that which observes your mind at every point in time and space, thinking whatever you're thinking. You are not your thoughts. You must realize this. You are that which observes your thoughts, thinking whatever you are thinking at any point in time and space. You are the I Am Presence, the I Am of Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Moses, and Abraham. It is the presence of life that is within you, that observes your thoughts. If you analyze where your thoughts come from and where they go, who is the author of every thought and who is the author of the idea of thinking, you will find that they float into your mind and out of your mind. Their source is in the invisible or unconscious level of your being, and so is their destination. Therefore, God is meditate on this. God is the all-invisible realm of thoughts, the place in which all thoughts exist eternally, from which everything comes and to which every invisible thought returns, and which fills every invisible space that appears to your mortal eyes or naked eye to be invisible or microscopic. You move through it, you inhale it, you come from it, you return to it, you are it. Even you are only a thought in the mind of God, but God is the sum total of all thoughts and more. God is the awareness of you, the I Am Presence. He is you thinking whatever you are thinking. Know this to be the truth and commune with Him within your soul. The purpose of meditation is to still the thoughts, to calm the thoughts, to realize there is a self observing you thinking whatever you are thinking at any point in time and space. The Vedas, which mean the eternal, impersonal, impartial Gospels, describe it as such. The mind is like a lake, and God is the sun that shines upon the lake. When you have a turbulent lake with many waves, many distractions, which correspond to countless different thoughts, the sun cannot be properly reflected in the lake. However, when you achieve stillness, and when the lake becomes calm and placid, then the sun is perfectly reflected in the lake. So therefore you must learn, through the process of meditation, to calm your thoughts, to calm your mind, so that your mind may be a perfect receptacle to reflect the sun of God's wisdom. Only when you can merge your mind with the God within yourself, the I Am Presence, can you become free from delusion and doubt and sorrow. For God is within you. For God is within you, is the source of all joy and of all power. He is love, wisdom, and power. By going within, you can commune with Him in your soul. God, in His unmanifested state, is pure white light, which is why you have heard many metaphysical teachers tell you to meditate upon the light. Meditating upon light is not sufficient unless you understand the qualities of the light, which are that the light is all-intelligent and all-powerful and all-loving. Therefore, since this one universal intelligence, manifesting as the light, is the light in all things. And when you call upon this light from your I Am presence to come into your life and to come into your outer form, then it comes with its three qualities of love, wisdom, and power. And thus, if you ask this light to help you, it being an intelligent force, will come into you and help you. God wants to work through you and with you, but only if you accept him and invite him into your life. This is the true meaning of all the teachings of Rama, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Moses, and Abraham. The meaning of Jesus' words: ask and you shall receive, seek and you will find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. It is very important to understand that when we speak of God as an impersonal force, he is self-conscious awareness. Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I am in all creatures. To me, none is more dear than any other, according to Lord Krishna. For Lord Krishna said, I love all creatures equally. This means that the Lord is present in all of us as our I Am presence. When Rama, Krishna, Jesus, Moses, and Abraham were asked who came before you, they said, I am. It is the universal intelligence of life. When God wanted to create the universe, he had to divide himself into an infinite multitude of endless sparks or souls through which he would continue to create. Thus he is equally present in all of us, but he is also conscious of being himself and of having created us to be companions to him. Therefore we must learn to tune in to his great awareness. God is superconscious wisdom, the wisdom that created the entire universe. When in meditation we calm our minds, achieve stillness within ourselves, and go into the tabernacle of our soul, within our hearts, then we can commune with him, and he will come with us. For Jesus himself said, speaking not as the man, but as the Christ consciousness, the universal consciousness of intelligence that guides all creation. Lo, I stand at your door and knock. If you open the door, I will come in and sup with you, which means that God, the Christ consciousness, which is a principle, knocks at the door of your consciousness, living in your unconscious mind, which means that you now are unconscious of him. He knocks at the door. If you will but open up the door to your mind and let him come in, he will eat with you, giving you food that you know not of. He will nourish you with the living waters of truth, which will give you life everlasting, for you'll realize what you really are. So therefore you must open up the door of your consciousness, open up the door of your conscious mind, go beyond preconceived ideas and limitations of your body and subject-object philosophies, which you believe to limit you, and allow the light of the Christ consciousness to come in. This is why your body is the temple of the Most High, and must be understood as such. Your body is the temple of the Most High God, and has 7 secret chambers in which you worship him, which correspond to 7 chakras, or the 7 spiritual elements, the 7 levels of creation, or the 7 rays. They are at the base of the spine, at the navel, at the solar plexus, at your heart center, at your throat center, at the medulla center, reflected between the eyebrows, and also on the top of the head, which is the 7th level, the 7th chamber. However, the secret place of the Most High, this inner temple, this holy of holies, is deep within your heart, which is where the I Am presence unites with us and connects with our outer body. It is this presence of life within us that causes our heart to beat, that flows through our entire body as life itself and nourishes every cell. Realize that you can commune with God in the temple of your heart, deep within yourself. In order to do so, you must become pure. Purify your mind, purify your soul, purify your consciousness. You must go into the heart and realize and visualize the temple that is there. In the center of this temple burns a flame, the eternal flame of impersonal, impartial, unconditional, divine love, which is the self of you, the I Am presence. Visualize yourself as a priest of the temple and worship this flame of life within you, your I Am, as God Himself. Visualize yourself sitting before this flame, anointing your body with oils, purifying your body, and sitting before the flame, which is the most secret place in the temple of the Most High, and wait. Sit there in loving devotion and adoration of the mighty God Self. For what we must do in order to resurrect ourselves is to adore and love the mighty source of life. Life is God Himself. Yes, it is wonderful to enjoy the pleasures of the senses, to be in love, to eat wonderful food, and to live a life of worldly enjoyment. However, it is a sin if we live such a life without recognizing by whose power we are even enabled to enjoy such things. If we recognize the power that enables us to enjoy such things and love it, we are not living in sin. For there are no sins in this world, only one sin: to impose your will on someone else's will against their will for a selfish motive. The motive is the bottom line. The power of life within us is supreme. It is perfect, and if we call upon it to act in our lives, it will refine our souls and teach us to see the light beyond all darkness. It will show us how to live in a state of endless joy. However, if we only heed the blessings of this life without loving the light itself, the blessings of this life being the sunshine, the rain, the air, the food, our bodies themselves, then of course our souls will degenerate into worldliness, and we will become trapped in the Maya, which is the illusion and the suffering of existence. By being endlessly separated from that which we love and enjoy, and being united with that which we do not love and enjoy. Therefore, it is recommended that you purify your soul and meditate on the light of God within your heart and wait for Him, realizing it is He that causes your blood to flow, your mind to think, your heart to beat, your food to digest. He that causes the glow in your eyes, the smile on your face, the movement of your hands. Realize that God is the supreme guest, which is why it says in the Bible that He is the Lord of hosts. A host that takes care of his guests. God is the great guest that we must invite into the temple of our meditation. Upon so doing, we will become conscious of this mighty force. You may say, yes, but you have mentioned that God is the I Am presence, which means that I am God. I say that the I Am of you, the soul that enables you to think that you are separate from God, is God. But your personality, your ego, must wait for God, must love the Lord, and must tune into Him. The purpose of meditation is to invite this mighty consciousness, this super consciousness into your life, and by so doing, uplift and exalt your consciousness. Therefore, meditate upon the light. Meditate within the temple of God, within your heart. Tune in to the light and draw this light force into and around you. Realize that this light force of God, the I Am presence, floods your heart with the presence of life and then flows through the nervous system as liquid peace, keeping your body alive. Realize that this light is all-powerful and all-knowing. Therefore, when you invite this light into your life and purify your inner temple with it, the light will begin to manifest in your affairs. For whatsoever you think about, you become. You are what you think, having become what you thought. So yesterday will be today's tomorrow, until you change your thoughts, as our beloved Lord Buddha said. You become what you meditate upon. When you meditate upon the great light in your heart, then you can tune into the mastery of the universe. The various religious teachers and metaphysical teachers recommend that you have a temple or a special place where you can go to meditate every day. Also, it is recommended that you meditate twice each day. In the morning for half an hour, at least, and in the evening for a half hour to an hour, in order to achieve stillness. This stillness alone will bring great peace into your life, because if you can just calm your mind and your thoughts, which are always filled with restlessness, with doubts, with worries, with fears, if you can simply calm your mind twice a day, you will allow the light to come into your life, and it will just begin to work for you. The light can only come into a calm mind. This will be explained later. If you cannot find a place to worship or a place to meditate every day, realize that within yourself you carry your own perfect portable temple of God in your heart, and thus you must worship the Lord within your heart as the I Am Presence. If you practice this simple technique twice a day, in the morning and in the evening, the results will be forthcoming. As long as you meditate on the Lord within your heart as the I Am Presence, you must say to yourself, "Be still and know I am God." There are countless forms of meditation that have been given. The true meditation is devotion in your heart to the one light of God. You must worship this one source of our being, and then our lives will become wonderful. For every enjoyment, every pleasure that you can perceive outside of yourself is only an expression of that one light within. Therefore, it is not a sin to enjoy the world, as mentioned before. But please always remember by whose power you are enabled to enjoy it, and remember that the source of all life is within. Thus, when you begin to commune with this force, with this mighty God Self, then your life will become wonderful. Do not become attached to the forms of meditation, as countless forms of meditation have been given, but do become attached to the light within your heart. There are many different ways of experiencing this light, but all ways only give you one experience, and that is this, that the light within your heart is God. The experience that you have when you truly meditate is the experience of His light, of His love. Do not become attached to the form, for that is like only abiding by the letter of the law and missing the whole point, the spirit of the law. This leads to dogmatism perpetuated by fear and guilt and superstition, which is not the purpose of any true spiritual work. First step to any true meditation is to achieve inner and outer stillness. Stillness is the first step. So therefore, before your actual practice of the technique of visualization that was just given to you, it is recommended that you sit with your back straight, either sitting on a chair or cross-legged or on your knees. As long as your back is straight, not strained, but straight and comfortable, calm your mind. Close your eyes and concentrate upon your breath gently flowing in and out. Do not force your breath. Simply observe it as you are watching waves rising and falling on the ocean. Be impersonal about it. Do not be attached. Just watch. Feel the light of God. Feel that it is the power of God that breathes through your lungs, that it is the power of God that enables you to live and meditate on this mighty God force within you. This is the first step to achieving stillness and is your birthright. After you calm yourself down, using the technique of stillness for 5 or 10 minutes, Then you can go to the heart and visualize the light there in the temple, as we have described earlier. Meditate upon the light of God blazing through your heart temple, blazing through that mighty eternal flame within your heart, which is the I Am Presence. Realize that you are the priest of your temple, and make your temple a holy place. As your meditation deepens, the priest and the flame will become one, and only the flame will remain. There is a stage higher even than this, but you must experience this yourself. Words cannot describe it. It is not wise to ask God for things, to ask God for anything except for His love. This is true realization. This is true devotion. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all things shall be added unto you. Seek ye first His love, the light, the eternal wisdom, and the power of the self, not for your own personal selfish ends, but for its own sake, and then all things shall be added unto you. It is true that God did not intend that there should be any suffering or lack or pain in this world on a permanent basis. However, through experiencing the contrasts of suffering and pain, the process of evolution occurs, and we can ascend to the divine harmony, which is our destiny from the beginning. We must tune into that light, which is all harmony and all perfection, which knows only perfection, before harmony and divine order can be established in our lives. Then if we want to use whatever we have to serve the light, to expand the light in all creation, which is the purpose of our being here on earth, then all things will be added unto us. For example, we will be given the money that we need in order to pay our bills and in order to perpetuate our personalities in this dimension to serve others. Remember that we must work unselfishly, and consequently God helps those who help themselves. So it is not enough just to pray, but you must work to accomplish the good things that you need. Never approach God, the inner self, the I Am Presence, as a beggar approaches a wealthy man, but realize that we are the children of God, that we are divine heirs. Therefore we must demand our birthright. If you are going to the emperor, you will not go in beggar's rags, because the guards of the palace would throw you out. You would wear your finest clothes and enter forth as though you were a relative of the emperor. Well, you are a child of the living God, which is the I Am Presence, but you must re-establish your recognition of your oneness by tuning in to your own being. In order to do this, you must tune into God. Your mind is like a radio set, and God is WJOY or WGOD or WIM. Of course, He is the supreme radio station, and we must fine-tune our mind. He is the subtlest vibration. Realize that the only difference between spirit and matter is the degree of vibratory element. Spirit has divided itself into consciousness and matter in order to express itself as the material world. Therefore, there is no ultimate difference between thought and matter except in the rate of vibration at which it passes through space. Thus God, or consciousness, is the subtlest vibration. God is very pure, and you must have a completely calm mind with no static on your mental radio to receive Him. Every thought that you have of discord, of hate, of jealousy, of envy, of doubt, of outwardliness or limitation creates static on your mental radio set, so that you are no longer able to receive the pure vibrations, the pure radio station of God's wisdom. God, of course, the superconscious state, is the subtlest of all the vibrations. So therefore we must be able to tune out all static and all differences within our mind in order to receive Him. In other words, we must put Him first. We must think of Him first, which means that there should be no other thought in our mind but the vibration of the light. Then He will come to us. Such is the reasoning behind the statement in the Bible that our God is a jealous God. He must come first. As long as we have another thought in our minds, We will not be able to perceive him. That is why achieving the stillness and meditating on the light within is so important. Not only must we think of the light, we must also feel the light. If we call upon the light of the mighty I Am Presence and bring it into our lives, and visualize ourselves surrounded by the light, it will be with us. Visualize yourself being bathed by little points of light in the temple of your heart. These lights penetrate your body and surround you and fill you up. Realize that these lights are purifying your nervous system, making you more sensitive to the light energy of the creation. Then you will be able to quickly tune in to the mighty I Am Presence and become aware of your true divine estate, your true divine birthright. This is the true purpose of meditation. The purpose of meditation is not merely to become calm and peaceful, which is a byproduct of meditation, but to know God, which is your inner self. God is not some being that sits on a throne in some antiseptic corner of the universe. No, God is your very self. God is the life of you. God is life himself. If you go outside on a sunny day and look at the sun, the trees, the grass, and the flowers, you will realize that everything that you see around you is a crystallization of the sunlight, which is God's rays pouring into this dimension. Realize that all the trees, all the birds, all the animals, the earth itself are nourished by the sun, and that it is the presence of the sun being absorbed by all the different forms of matter which enables the forms in matter to live. In just the same way your consciousness draws from the great central sun of the I Am Presence, of God's awareness, and is nourished and enlightened by it. So therefore, when you meditate upon the soul, realize that God has become all things, just as the sunlight has become all forms of nature. For it is the rays of light themselves that nourish all forms. Thus is your soul an expression of God. And you must realize that you draw your power, your force, your energy from that mighty I Am Self. And in that, you are divine. Realize that God is life itself, and everything in life is divine. When you see suffering, pain, or evil, that is only the misapplication of the free will that is given to you. The only sin in this universe is to impose your will, I repeat, upon someone else's will against their will for a selfish motive. Life is a celebration, and you must live it as such. You must live with an awareness of the light of God dwelling within you and everyone. And do not allow thoughts of doubt, of jealousy, of hate, of revenge, of envy, of greed to enter into your mind. For this is only a delusion based upon the false belief that you are separate from the whole. In reality, you are one with the whole. Recognize that, and there will no longer be any jealousy or anger or greed, because you will know that within yourself you have the ability to attune yourself to the goodness of all things. And remember, you cannot recognize outside of yourself what you are not inside yourself, as proven by modern physics, unless you could vibrate to the exact octave or frequency of vibration of that which you are perceiving. Thus you have to be everything. Another method of stilling the mind and calming the mind, which is very important, is the use of mantras or sound vibrations. Everything is vibration, so therefore when you repeat a certain sound, you are able to establish a certain frequency of vibration and harmony within your soul. The most important mantras are those from India, the simple mantras from India, and especially those used in the temples of ancient Egypt. Many of the souls that will be listening to these tapes have been in the temples of Egypt in past incarnations, in prehistory, and these tapes are really for those people who are going to awaken to the true light of God within themselves. They are the chosen ones because they have chosen to serve the light. And the whole purpose of meditation is to commune with the light so that you will know how to serve it better. The destiny of the world at this time is that the souls who are here to serve, who have chosen to serve, may awaken to their true nature. For the others, the present time will be one of great cataclysms, as we know. For this reason, we will give the mantras used in Egypt in the temples. When you repeat these, then you will achieve the stillness within your soul. Meditate upon this mantra, and it will attune you to the forces of the great I Am. I-O-U-E-I-O-M. I-O-U-E-I-O-M. Realize that these sounds purify the 7 psychic energy centers, or the chakras, that we described earlier. They help to attune your mind to the one light beyond all darkness. They help you to realize that when you achieve the stillness, you can perceive more clearly that which experiences all vibration, which is the I Am presence. It is beyond all vibration. It is the self which experiences all things. If you meditate upon this mantra before you meditate, it will bring great stillness and peace within your being. Moreover, you will find that your whole body may begin to vibrate and hum as you intone these sounds. This is because the mantra calls on the great forces of inner purification, which will help to cleanse your body and mind. Before one meditates, it is important to follow a very clear, pure diet, and the diet pamphlet, which is released by us, explains this in great detail. Furthermore, if you find yourself disturbed under many circumstances, meditate upon the mantra Ram. 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 This will help to balance the inner bodies, the psychic bodies, and make you more aware of the light. And when you feel disturbances or irritation, it is only a discordant feeling or vibration within your heart, within you. You must always learn to uproot these discordant vibrations by blazing forth the power of the light. Whenever you feel angry, upset, tired, or depressed, call upon the light to enter into your life, and then enter into meditation. If you are working in a day-to-day activity and you find that somebody disturbs you very much, then what you must do is simply tune into the light. Stop whatever you are doing and visualize the light, and do not continue to act or to work until you can experience balance and harmony within yourself. Another mantra that is very important is Om. When you practice this vibration, it establishes great inner peace and harmony, and it helps to attune your inner bodies, your emotional, physical, and inner bodies, so that they can express divine harmony. All of these are ways to purify your inner being so that you can express the light of God, which you are. The purpose of meditation is to allow the forces to flow through you perfectly, that the Father may be glorified in the Son and daughter. And therefore, by achieving the stillness within yourself and tuning into the light, the results will be forthcoming by themselves. All we must do is make the effort, and God will make the rest of the effort. But we have to work tirelessly. We must practice our meditation, and we must remember to bring this peace and this harmony into our feeling worlds and out into everything that we do. It is not enough to meditate. We must also bring the after effects of meditation and the peace that we experience into our life and into all of our affairs in order that we may become a channel of blessings and of kindness and of helpfulness to all. For what is God? God is patience, God is long-suffering, God is joy, God is charity, and not the charity where we become the doormat of another person. but the willingness to give, the willingness to serve, the willingness to be an example of light. Show all people the greatness of the inner self within. This is the purpose of meditation, to become aware of that light within ourselves and then to spread it. The time is ripe to learn, to serve humanity, and serve our brothers and sisters by being examples. This is the great, great truth. If you meditate with this attitude, you will make rapid and speedy spiritual progress beyond your expectations. This will be a benefit and a blessing to the world at large. Know that the light of God never fails, and if you call upon him, he will answer you, and if you go to him, he will come to you. But you must prepare yourself, and you must make him know that you want him alone. God bless you. This is the end of this meditation, which is exactly what you have been experiencing.